Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Let me take this. Who was working with the feds? Y'all jump right on into it. Somebody say something about working with the feds. I don't. Who was working with the feds? Good morning. Good morning, Whiskey. Do you want to come in? I'm not moving your bed in here. Hold on, y'all. Come on. Okay, wait. Find a spot. Not in my lap. Good morning, everybody. Hey, Armani. With your fine self and beautiful skin. Good morning. I discussed Deutsch Bank yesterday. I discussed all that I know about Deutsche Bank yesterday, which is quite a bit. Hey, Aisha. Muscles is supposed to be joining us today. I think he asked if he could join our live this morning. Whoopi's reaction to what? Thank you. Very informative. See, I discussed Deutsche Bank yesterday. I had a lot of inside tea because I work in the investment world, and how I knew some things was funky about Deutsche Bank. I uploaded that live on my YouTube channel, Tabitha Speaks Politics. You can go over and... What dead informant? Y'all telling me stuff I don't know. I mean, Aisha, that's one topic I was like, I can talk about this one. At the high school, child. Y'all have a blessed day too. The federal informant that worked for the FBI was found dead at the high school. Is this a conspiracy theory? Big hello from New York. Now, the word on the curb is also that Trump Tower was a way to money launder for the Russian mob. You saw it on the news? Let me do a quick Google search. So my New Yorkers, have you heard that? Trump Tower was a front to launder money for the Russian mob. Okay, wait. I need to be down here. Somebody said yes. Somebody said I tried to think I was a billionaire. Baby, that osmosis only worked for Trump. And it's not working too well for him. FBI informant found dead at the high school. Okay, so this is from, but this stuff is, these reports are from April, y'all. Why y'all telling me this now? Hey, Petty Roll. I appreciate you, Petty Roll. Every time I'm live, you pop your little head in. Why y'all telling me about this? Hello from Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you, everybody that loves the glasses. Taj Mahal was just, what? All right, y'all. Oh, it happened in April, but it just made it to TikTok. So the TikTok streets just found out about this. Okay. I didn't know about it. Let me do a quick read. See what it's about. Oh, I see. Y'all talking about it because it's tied to Deutsche Bank. Baby, this is some Jack Bauer. What's the name of the Jason Bourne? What's the name of that show that was on Showtime? With the guy that used to play on Criminal Minds. This is some, I don't want to read it from this article because they're adding comedy to it, not just. A man believed to have worked with federal authorities to investigate the activities of Deutsche Bank and its ties with former President Donald Trump was found dead on El Sereno High School's campus on Monday. Jack Reacher, right. This is a cleaning crew found the body. Valentin Brooksmith, he was 45. He was a self-described comically terrible spy. What? I'm reading this from CBS News. He was declared dead on the Woodrow Wilson High School campus School police said they had no video. School police said they had no video of him coming onto campus or are unsure how long he had been there. Stedman wrote that Brooksmith had given him... Who is Stedman? Okay. Let me go back up a paragraph. Friends and journalists. Let me go back up. Brooksmith, that's the guy who died, who was an FBI informant, and he was working with the FBI on getting information in regards to Donald Trump and Deutsche Bank. Brooksmith was last seen driving a red Mini Cooper in Griffin Park on Riverside Drive. Although Brooksmith had gone missing, his Twitter account remained active. Friends and journalists claimed to stay in contact with him during the disappearance. Forensic News investigative journalist Scott Stedman tweeting that he spoke with Brooksmith in January. So he disappeared, but his Twitter, he was still communicating by Twitter. Stedman wrote, that's the journalist, excuse me, wrote that Brooksmith had given him Deutsche Bank documents that highlighted the bank's deep Russia connections. I'm reading this from CBS News. Remember yesterday we talked about, I told y'all I didn't know for sure, but the word on the curb was that Deutsche Bank, I told y'all Deutsche Bank a few years ago got fined hundreds of millions of dollars, right? And it was for some improprietary reason. They broke some regulation rules or whatever. I told y'all this yesterday. And then I told y'all that the word on the curb, the rumor was that Deutsche Bank was money laundering for the Russian mob. Let me read this line again. Stedman wrote, Stedman is the journalist that was speaking to Brooksmith, and Brooksmith is the guy that's the informant that's working with the FBI. He died. He showed up on this high school campus dead. Stedman wrote that Brooksmith had given him Deutsche Bank documents that highlighted the bank's deep Russia connections. Quote, it is very sad. I don't suspect foul play. Brooksmith struggled with drugs on and off. Waiting on further info. Do y'all think it was foul play? Do y'all think it was foul play? Okay. New York Times reporter David Rich, who said that Brooksmith helped the FBI in its probe into the financial institution, also wrote that Brooksmith struggled with drug abuse and would often conjure far-fetched theories. Do they think it's far-fetched now? Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Do they think it's far-fetched now? Because remember, this came out in April. This happened in April. This was reported on in April. Ooh, my sinuses are kicking today. Stedman said that Brooksmith's father had committed suicide in 2014, which haunted the 45-year-old. So this man who shows up dead on a high school campus, who was working with the FBI to get information on ties between Deutsche Bank and Donald Trump, and Deutsche Bank having connections or rumored to be money laundering for the Russian mob. This guy's father committed suicide in 2014. Y'all get Jack Bauer on the phone. Get Jack Bauer on the phone Get Jason Bourne on the phone. We need some deep undercover. This Brokesmith, who was also subpoenaed by the House Intelligence Committee during its probe into Trump and the bank, reportedly offered hundreds of documents to federal investigators and journalists who were looking for ties between Deutsche Bank and Trump. The documents were left behind by his stepfather, William, who was an executive for the bank, who also died. Jack Ryan to the CIA headquarters, baby. We need 007. We need a whole team to get to the bottom of this. You know, a whole team that could take care of themselves, right? Because if they get caught, the government ain't gonna claim them. And Rich is the New York Times reporter, states that the news that he has passed, that Brokesmith passed away, is terrible news. He was a longtime source of mine. Who told me about this? Thank you. Because I didn't know anything about this. So, oh wait, is there, let me see. I think a video is attached to it. Let me turn my speaker on. If it comes up. Let me refresh. Hold on. We'll listen to the, okay. I'm going to play the, let me wait till after, you know, they got these ads. Where's the skip button? They don't even give me the skip button.
My skin can face anything. Shop the full vitamin C collection at Olay.com.
History in El Sereno. A federal informant has been found dead on the grounds of Woodrow Wilson High School. The family of 45-year-old Valentin Brokesmith had reported him missing to the LAPD. He was last seen on April 6th at Griffith Park driving a red Mini Cooper. Woodrow Wilson High School police say they have no video or evidence that shows him coming onto campus, so they don't know how long his body has been there. There's no word yet from the coroner on the cause of death. Brokesmith reportedly worked with the feds investigating Deutsche Bank and its ties with former President Trump.
Now that's local news. That's local news. The LA Times talked about it. All of these articles are local news. Nothing about this net from CNN, MSNBC. No video of him. I believe the high school has video capabilities, but they have no video of him. Thank y'all for the roses and the gifts and the. Hold on, y'all know how I feel. I thought I saw a Ku Klux Klan member. I did. Let me block this Ku Klux Klan member. Yes, in LA. guy's name is Valentine Brooksmith. He was found at a high school dead. And he was working with the FBI in regards to making a connection between Deutsche Bank and Donald Trump. Thank you. Thank you, Cindy. We talked about Deutsche Bank yesterday. And I connected some dots for people on yesterday and opened people's eyes to Deutsche Bank on yesterday. Some people hadn't heard any of what I had to say yesterday. He was found dead on a high school campus. He was working with the FBI and was providing documents to the FBI and some news journalists in regards to the connection between Deutsche Bank and Donald Trump. Again, the word on the curb, the rumor is Deutsche Bank money laundered for the Russian mob. And yesterday when I talked about Deutsche Bank, I made the connection between Justice Anthony Kennedy, who all of a sudden retired. No health issues, just all of a sudden retired, which opened up a seat for Brett Kavanaugh to slide right on in to the Supreme Court. Justice Anthony Kennedy's son worked at Deutsche Bank. His son's name is Justin. Justin was the one that was ushering in all of that money to Donald Trump. Money that allegedly was funneled through Deutsche Bank by the Russians. That's what we talked about on yesterday. And now we have another piece in the puzzle. And today I'm going to do a video about this, but I'll show y'all. Twitter, at some point yesterday, I swear I talked about it early in the morning on the live, and then it's like a floodgate opened on social media. Somebody was watching me yesterday because the floodgates opened, and last night Twitter was all abuzz about, where's my video? Was all abuzz about Donald Trump, Deutsche Bank, Anthony Kennedy, Brett Kavanaugh, and the Russians. And so somebody posted this video. Remember I told y'all yesterday that one day Justice Kennedy decided that he was going to retire. Mysteriously, out of the blue. He goes over to the White House. He meets with Donald Trump. They do a press conference. They make the announcement, right? And as the cameras are cut, there's no sound, I don't believe. Somebody had a cell phone as Justice Kennedy and Donald Trump were walking away from the podium after they made the announcement that he was retiring. And this is what happened. Hold on, can I do it this way? Okay. I want y'all to see. Is it moving? Hold on. Oh. Hold on. Child. Stop. Go back. Okay. Let's try this again. They're walking away from the podium. And Justice Kennedy stops dead in his tracks. And Donald Trump is saying something to him. And Justice Kennedy put that finger up like, wait, hold on a minute. There is no sound to the video. What did Donald Trump say to Justice Kennedy as they were walking away from the podium? Y'all want me to play it again? Stop. It's like he said, what? Hold on. It's like he's saying, that's not what we discussed. This was when Justice Kennedy made the announcement that he was going to retire. Definitely, Jansen, something Kennedy didn't agree with. It's like he's saying, hold up. And I just envision him saying, that's not what we discussed. I can't read lips, so I don't know. But I envision the way, whatever Donald Trump said to him, Justice Kennedy stopped dead in his tracks. And I envision him saying, hold up, that's not what we discussed. Because he put that finger up. Whiskey, I don't know why you sitting there looking at me. We not playing today. I gotta work. That's what it looks like to me. The only person that is allowed to come up today is Muscles. Furthermore, I only allow mutuals up. I don't know who you people are. I don't know what you plan to do once you get up here. I don't trust y'all because racists like to attack and abuse black people on this app. You wonder, I don't know. I don't know. Somebody says could have been a threat of some kind. He asked me if he could join me in today's live. I told him I would go live about 9-ish. So Girl with 2 dogs says, I remember when that happened and it looked suspect. So Twitter dug this up. And they've been talking about Deutsche Bank. They've been talking about Donald Trump, the Russians, Brett Kavanaugh, and who paid off Brett Kavanaugh's loan. His debt. I think it was, somebody broke it down. It was a $1.2 million mortgage somebody paid off. It was $200,000 in golf club fees. And it was something else that they paid off. Today is the first day of fall. Happy fall, y'all. Official first day of fall. I need to pull out some sweaters because the temperature's dropping next week. I see it on the news reports here in Atlanta. It's going to be in the 50s. Let me see. Deutsche Bank was trending. Let me see. Okay, here it is. Somebody had, okay, 92 $100,000 in country club fees, $200,000 in credit card debt, and $1.2 million in his mortgage for his home. They paid it all off. And this person is specifically stating that it's tied to Deutsche Bank. Who funneled money through Deutsche Bank to pay off that debt? I do still have butter pecan coffee. I've got one thing left. One thing left. Somebody has their heat on. Oh yeah, I mean, we all knew. Anybody who can think logically and critically about the stuff that Donald Trump was doing throughout his presidency, when you heard that Justice Kennedy had resigned for no reason, and they're saying that it was a shock to the legal world because he had already picked the people that were going to be working for him for the next term. So he had made plans to continue on as in his duties for a Supreme Court justice. And then one day, thank you, A-Dot, one day out of the blue, he resigns. It's very suspicious. I'm sorry, lovely. Reach out to Dunkin' Donuts directly and ask them if there's a store in your area that sells it. Or you can have the manager of the store order it for you. Request it from the store manager. I know Publix, if you reach out to the manager, speak to the manager, and tell them you want to order a particular product that they aren't carrying, they will order it for you. They do it for me for my Garcia sausage. Right. JJ says Supreme Court justices just don't resign. I told y'all that yesterday. Remember all of the trolls are coming in. He was 82. There's nothing suspicious about him. No. Supreme Court justices stay in those positions for a lifetime. A lifetime. The only time they will resign is if it's for health reasons, if they mentally can no longer perform the duties of that position, or they die. That's the only time. Just resign and you're not nothing? Mm-mm. JJ says they're all dying in their seats. So, or they are about to be caught in a scandal. But how often does that happen? Has that ever happened before? Has that ever happened before? A Supreme Court justice resigning because they were caught up in scandal? Up until this point, our Supreme Court was trusted. No, he wasn't sick, right? He wasn't sick. Up until Donald Trump got a hold of the Supreme Court, they were trusted. They stayed true to the law. Well, Clarence Thomas was just, for all of those years, Clarence Thomas stayed true to the law. Even though he did what he did to Anita Hill. Once he got in, he stayed true to the law, right? It's just recently, because Donald Trump has corrupted. It's like he's corrupted everyone. Everybody now is breaking the law in politics. Cindy Lou says, which is part of the problem. I agree. I don't think these Supreme Court justices should be serving lifetime appointments, just like term limits in Congress. There's muscles. You ready? Just like federal judges. I believe those can be lifetime appointments too, but most of them will leave that position. They aspire to be on the Supreme Court. Just like, what's her name? Cannon, Judge Cannon, who just ruined her entire career. What's her first name? Starts with an A. Starts with an A. Well, yes, Russian assets were able to infiltrate our branches of government, but they're only infiltrating one party. Eileen, thank you. Eileen, she's now a laughing stock. Before I went to bed last night, she has amended that order. She has amended it to match what the appeals court had to say. But she is now a laughing stock. I want her to be a laughing stock. I also want her to be impeached. And I also want her to be disbarred. Her being a laughing stock is not enough for me. It's not enough for me. She should be impeached and disbarred. She should be hanging her head in shame in the legal industry and suffering the consequences of that for the rest of her life. She shouldn't even be able to get a job as a paralegal, as a legal secretary. You finally decided to sit down. I gotta order him another, okay, here comes Muscles. Hey, Muscles.
Good morning, you beautiful woman. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am good.
We've been talking about Deutsch Bank, Justice Kennedy. We found a news story. Did you hear about this news story that went down back in April with this guy that was working with the FBI? He was an informant and he was digging up information on Deutsche Bank and Trump, and he was found dead on the high school campus. You heard about that? I hadn't heard about it. My people were telling me about it.
Justice Kennedy. Let me turn on my TV. Justice Kennedy's son was the broker of all of Trump's, and then Justice Kennedy. Do you remember when he was walking, when Donald Trump was walking with him, and Donald Trump said something to him that
I showed them the video. What do you think he
stopped
said
him
to
in his tracks?
Yes.
Donald Trump said something to him that will, and isn't he dead now? Didn't he die? Kennedy's dead now, right?
No.
Well, he should come out and say something.
He should
come out and say something. The fact that he's not means he's guilty as fuck.
Let me look. Let me make sure. Somebody asked that yesterday. I was like, no, I don't think he's dead. It's Antonin Scalia that died, but let me double check.
Okay. But no, whatever Donald Trump said to Justice Kennedy made him stop in his tracks. And Trump is such. I'm going to put on my headphones. Let's hope this works.
Okay. He's not dead. He's not dead. He's very much alive.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Well,
he's not dead?
Your mouth is not matching.
What the fuck? Why does he not come out and say something?
I think he was threatened.
What, now my mouth isn't matching?
Well, you're matching now.
Is my mouth not matching? It's not?
No. It's not. There's a small
God
delay.
Damn it. Hold on. Let me come back in here real quick. I'll be right back.
Justice Kennedy is not dead, you guys. He's very much alive. And so why he's not saying anything is beyond me. Because he's been trending all night. They started the full discussion over on Twitter before I went to bed. I woke up, they're still having the discussion. Good morning, everybody coming into the room. Okay.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. So, no, the reason why I wanted to put it on my head, because I'm going to do some dishes while I'm doing this, so forgive me.
I see that nice watermelon on the back.
Yes, ma'am. I made white people taco last night. And so it's a very southern dish. And you take Fritos,
Yeah.
the regular Fritos, and you get ranch style beans. Remember I was telling you about ranch style beans? Have you ever had ranch style beans? They will change your life, girl. Here. They're called ranch style beans. And they are the best beans you will ever have in your entire life. It's literally just ranch style beans. And they are not sweet. They're not baked beans. They use kidney beans, and they have like a chili. They've got it's honestly like the best. They are the best beans you will ever have. They're so good in chili. And what I do is I take ground beef and I do my own taco seasoning. No, I don't do that. Okay, I don't buy the package. I ground the beef and then I heat up some beans and then I put it on top of Fritos and put cheese, lettuce, tomato, onion, and salsa. It's so good.
Like the
It's really,
regular Frito corn chips?
yeah, these Fritos right here. These ones right here. So you do Fritos and then the taco meat and then the ranch style beans and cheese and then lettuce, tomato, onion, and some salsa. I'm serious, like the texture is amazing. It's real. It's very. That's one thing I love. That's one thing I took away from those Southern Baptist cookouts is that those women knew how to make some casseroles. Man, it's a Frito pie.
What's the name of the dish?
Frito pie.
Oh, it's a Frito. Okay.
Yeah, it's Frito pie. It's so good. Now you got to eat it. You can't let it sit. Like you got to eat it right there because the chips will get soggy.
Okay.
You want the chips crunchy.
Okay.
But as for Justice Kennedy, yeah, that whole I think the entire world owes Rachel Maddow an apology right now.
Rachel Maddow has been talking about this.
Yes, they owe her a fucking apology right now, especially when she came out with those tax documents that everybody laughed at her about. Do you remember that? Look at that. She was right the whole time, and she deserves to tell everybody who talks shit about her. I fucking told you.
I can't wait for her to do her show on Monday.
Yeah, I can't wait to see. I cannot wait for her to do her show because she's been right this whole time, and everybody kept saying you're like I feel her because people are like you're a conspiracy theorist, Jared. You're a conspiracy theorist, Jared. And she was right, and I've been right. I'm telling you, like the world owes her a fucking apology right now.
I was telling them yesterday. In my professional life, I deal with investment funds, right? Do investing, make payments, withdraw money from investment funds, have to fill out tons of paperwork and everything I do. And so I knew about Deutsche Bank because of what I do professionally. And all of these, it was about 8 years ago, all of these funds had their money in Deutsche Bank. And then all of a sudden, all of these funds, we kept getting these notices that they were moving their money out of Deutsche Bank and this is their new bank. So I knew something was up then. I didn't know what was up. I was new to the field and all of that stuff. But then it was Rachel Maddow, her reporting when Donald Trump was in office. Rachel Maddow talked about Deutsche Bank being fined hundreds of millions of dollars because they had broken some regulations. They were found to do some stuff. And I said, that's why all of these funds, they ain't want nothing to do with Deutsche Bank. And then further on, you learned Deutsche Bank had ties to Donald Trump. And then later on, I started hearing Deutsche Bank was money laundering for the Russian mob.
Thank you.
Rachel Maddow was the one that broke it for me.
Yep. That's the thing. And that's when Justice Kennedy was told to step down. Justice Kennedy was told by the Federalist Society to step down.
So you think it was the Federalist Society?
Absolutely, it was the Federalist Society who told him to step down. because they're the ones who got him put in there in the first place. Justice Kennedy so Roe v. Wade going before the Supreme Court with a conservative majority. This is the second time this had happened. The first time it happened was back in 1962. Was it 19? Because no, when was Roe v. Wade passed? 1972. So Roe v. Wade was 1972. I believe it was 1982. It was about 10 years after it had passed. The conservatives were able to get 3 conservative justices on there. One of them was Kennedy. And Kennedy didn't vote in favor to overturn Roe v. Wade.
Is that why they wanted him off?
Absolutely. 1973 was Roe v. Wade. Thank you. It was passed in 1973. I'm sorry, I get the dates. So Justice Kennedy didn't vote to overturn Roe v. Wade. It was another system. It was what is it? Oh yeah, they found it. Hi Smoosh. Here's another one. Oh hey Doc. I'm gonna do a live. I wanted to get. Can we be petty for a moment?
Because they don't see you a lot. Say hi.
She's like, Mom. You want to be petty for a minute? Just a minute.
Yes.
You ready?
Yeah.
I want you to keep this in your head. Keep this in your head, y'all. Okay, ready? 40 doulas. 40 doulas is all that Donald Trump's super PAC made in August.
Really? Really?
40, not 40 million, not 40,000, 40 doulas.
So are they, you think they're waking up?
I think so. Here, wait, I'm gonna show you right now. Give me just a minute. Because listen, this is one of those things that just makes you really feel good about your life right now. 40 dollars. Let me pull up the Financial Times right now. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Ready?
No, we can't cuddle all day.
Tap. Donald Trump's super PAC raised $40 in August.
Oh, wow. Whiskey, stop it. No. Who is this from? Oh, the Financial Times.
That's the regular old slap some cheese on it, put it in the microwave kind of money.
Does he use that money for his legal defense?
But also this super PAC is directly tied, is now under investigation. It's under federal investigation too. Now you got to think. Last year, the fourth quarter of last year, he pulled in $5 million. $5 million, and this time right now, $40. And they're still paying Melania. Melania is now under investigation too because out of Trump's super PAC, they're still paying her designer. Melania is going down too. Tiffany's the only one that's going to be able to put money on the commissary note.
A designer for what?
I don't know. Have you seen her dress? I don't know what they're designing.
I mean, you don't see her. So
we see too much of her. She just slaps on a couple of Band-Aids and calls it a day. Listen, I'm all for women's liberation, but girl.
I mean, I don't ever see her muscles though. She's not in the public eye like that. So why are they?
Yeah, exactly. They're still paying her. They're still paying her designer. It blows my mind. Somebody over here said Tiffany is living her best life. Yes, she is. She's living her best life, man.
She's not worried about being indicted.
Oh no, she ain't. No, and everybody's just like, why are they coming after the children? They ain't children. They are business partners. No, they are business partners in that fraud. And one of the things that I would like to mention. Donald Trump and Eric Trump and Ivanka Trump, they all signed off on this shit too. They're all business. They're part of that business. That's the reason why they were able to avoid so much shit. They had it all spread out, and it's all behind this shell company and this LLC and this, that, and the third. So they were able to inflate that for such a long time. But
right.
everybody in New York, no bank in the United States would lend to Donald Trump. The only ones that would do it was Deutsche Bank, and Deutsche Bank was laundering money for Russia. Whoever owns Donald Trump's billions of dollars of debt owns Donald Trump. He's like, if whoever owns his debt owns him. And Donald Trump went full circle last night because he didn't win his little special master. Okay, and the special master is not doing what he thought he would do. He's now saying, oh, well, the FBI has had it. They planted stuff. So remember, it was planted at first, then he declassified the planted, and then he's Professor X, apparently, because the new Marvel character that I am designing is Trumpero instead of Mesmero. We've got Trumpero. It's going to be a whole season with a lot of complaints. Now he's back. Now he's back. Now he's back to saying, go ahead. Sorry.
The man has no shame.
No. I don't, you know what? I don't even think it's shame. He's never had consequences before. Let's really think about it. Donald Trump has never had consequences before until he became the president. Melania bawled like a baby the night that he was elected. Remember that? She cried. She did not want to be there. She did. They literally said Melania wept. Like she was bawling the night that he got elected. Listen, couldn't happen to a better person. Okay. But listen, but she was bawling the night that he got elected. In her room. She did not want him elected because she knew that everything. Of course, she still defended him because she's paid to. Let's not. Do you remember when Melania? Oh, do you want some tea? You ready for some tea? Melania Trump was slated to get a boob job before Donald Trump won the presidency. She held off until he was in office and then got it so the American people would pay for her boob job. And remember when everybody was like, where's that double? Who's that stunt double? Remember that? Everybody, do you remember that?
Yeah.
That was when she got her boob job.
Oh, I knew about the stunt double, but I just figured she didn't.
Melania Trump waited till she
couldn't stand Donald Trump.
No, she was getting a boob job. She waited till Donald Trump got into office so that the American she had a boob job. She said she had to get the kidney surgery.
And that's
she had a fucking boob job.
They told, right? The kidney surgery.
Yeah, that's what they said. She had to get it. She held off to get it. You can look at her don'ts. Was that her kidney disease hospitalization? Yes, it was. That's what they told the public. It was kidney. No, she was getting a fucking boob job, and the American public had to pay for it. And I mean, if it was going to be if those are American boobs, I mean, I'm looking at Dynamite Dixie double triple D's. I mean, let's make it American, okay? Let's make them huge. I want to see them from outer space, goddammit, with a big old American flag on the left side. I'm gonna make them American.
When I tell you, the Trumps remind me. What's the name of the family that went to Beverly? The Hillbillies.
Oh, the Clampetts. The Clampetts.
Yes.
The Clampetts. Yes. Oh my God.
I swear, for as refined and classy they try to present themselves to be, they are.
Somebody over here, my friend said the FBI should repossess those things because they were bought under false pretenses. I'm sorry. For those of you just joining, we are laughing over the fact that Donald Trump's super PAC, which is now under investigation by the DOJ, made a whopping $40 last month. $40.
Now, is it because they're under investigation that they can't make donations to the PAC? Has donations, the ability to donate, been suspended?
No, you can still donate. He's just bled them dry. He's bled them dry. They don't have money. His cult has run out of money. Like, they can't afford anything right now. $40. Somebody said $40 is just enough for a MyPillow. Y'all are petty as fuck, and I love you. But
I've
I also
always
wanted to
said I
get on
don't
here
feel
really quickly.
sorry.
I'm not
I
trying to
don't
sound
feel
an alarm.
sorry for his people because they know he's a con man. They know he's a lawyer. They know he's lying. They know he's corrupt. And if they choose to send him the money. I've always said Donald Trump get every last penny from
Yep.
them. They need to be broke down and destitute.
And you know what? Because what is it? Somebody's been like, somebody threatened me with comments that I made back when the pandemic was really hitting hard. And it's still hitting hard, but like, they were like, aha, you wanted children to die, yada, yada, yada. And that's not what I said, because I'm going to tie this in. It is not my job, okay, Tiffany and Globalist News, it is not my job to feel bad about a parent's decision about their children. If they don't care enough to put a mask or vaccinate their children, then it is not my job to feel bad if they lose said children. Do you see what I'm saying? That is what an abuser does. An abuser lets a situation happen and then expects you, the victim, to feel bad for their choices. So I have no regrets when I said, when people were like, I feel bad for the children. I don't, because it's not my job to feel bad for them. Do you understand? Like, do you see what I'm saying?
I feel
And
bad
that
for
is
the children.
that you do, and that's fine. You can, and that's fine, and I do. Okay, but that is because I choose to. I am not required to. That's the difference. They think we are required to feel bad for their actions. And that's the same thing with Donald Trump supporters that do come out, or these women who are now coming out as pro-choice or as pro-choice who were forced birth this whole time. You want us to feel bad for the decisions and consequences, for the decisions and now the consequences of what has happened to you. And we are not required to do that. This whole reach across the aisle, we did that 8 years with Obama. 8 years with Obama.
And they treated him like shit.
Mm-hmm. And now you want our sympathy?
And
That's
then
the problem.
then tried to make the fact that he's compassionate and empathetic and all of that stuff and willing to work with them. They made that they used that to make him look weak.
Exactly. And I do feel bad for those kids, but what I was saying perfectly clear.
Maybe it's not the kids. It's when you okay, let's just use the example of these grown ass women who have all these years voted against their own interests. They have voted to put these monsters into office, and now we are here. They voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, and now that we're here, and they have to deal with the situation of being pregnant and can't have this baby for whatever medical reason, now they understand the consequences for how they have voted all of these years. Those people I don't feel sorry for.
No!
They're adults.
They're adults. Exactly.
They're adults.
It
is up to you to educate yourself and make informed decisions. If you choose not to do that, here you are. And now you have to deal with the consequences. That lady that was all over TikTok, people were sharing her story. She's been pro-life all of these years, and now she's pregnant and can't have this baby because what was wrong with the baby? The baby had some serious problems.
That was the one in Texas. That was the one in Texas.
She had the baby had some serious
her
problems.
baby was going to kill her.
It wasn't going to live after a few seconds or a couple of minutes or whatever. So she needed to have an abortion. She had to leave her state to get what she needed. But this is what you voted for. You've been pro-life all of this time, and you could not see beyond your own self to understand the seriousness of this situation.
Thank you.
Those people I don't feel sorry for. But it's hard
like I said last night,
not feel sorry for kids because they are not mentally able to make these decisions. Their dumbass parents are the ones making these
But the
decisions.
problem is those kids are indoctrinated by their parents and grow up to be even worse.
You're right.
But Plato said it best. Plato said it best. If you refuse to involve yourself in politics, then you allow yourself to be governed by your inferiors. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you do not engage in politics, the end result is that you are governed by people that are your inferiors. So that Democrats, when you didn't vote, when you didn't get out there to vote for Hillary, or I'm not voting, or anything like that, this is what happens. Plato said it. He told you. He was a Greek philosopher. And he told us, get involved in politics or we will have to suffer the consequences. And this is what's happening now. I wanted to talk about really quickly about Ebola. Oh. So there's an outbreak in Uganda right now. You guys have to understand Africa, because America has always been in the race to be the most racist. Okay, and it truly is. Because we have, and we're winning that fucking. We have lapped the world, you know. We have Africa, because of global warming. We are seeing a massive increase in zoonotic diseases. Okay, that comes from an animal to humans. Ebola is an animal to human to human to human contact. So for us to originally get it, we have to get it from an animal. When 2012, when there was that major Ebola outbreak, and that was it 2012 or 2000? Yeah, it was 2012.
It was under the Obama years.
Yeah, and we only had 3 cases, not a single death. 3 cases. The entire world was shut down. Like, we had 3 cases.
And Obama actually put a plan in place that the Trump administration threw out. That's why COVID was so bad for us.
And then Donald Trump threw it out. So, anyways, that was the Dominican Republic, or Democratic. Is it Dominican Republic of Congo or Democratic Republic of Congo? The DRC. So that was the DRC strain that we had a vaccine for. Okay, we have a vaccine for the DRC strain. What we are seeing right now is the Sudan strain. And Tanzania has now closed their borders. Tanzania does not close their borders. There's 1 person dead. There are 6 people infected. There are 17 people. Suspected cases. 6 people confirmed cases. So we need to just be aware. Okay, it's the fact we have treatments for it, but that is my biggest fear. My biggest fear is because of COVID. You guys have to understand, every time I see an outbreak, I don't just see the outbreak. I see, how is that going to affect our immune systems that are completely destroyed because of COVID? You know, or the people who didn't get vaccinated, you know what I mean? Because people who are vaccinated, we bounce back quicker. Okay, we just do. Whether you like it or not, whether you want to believe it or not, we bounce back quicker. And we just do. And it's the people who weren't fully vaccinated beforehand that are kind of, that we're having to deal with the consequences. But it's always a concern. So you guys have to be aware of that. But anyways, I'm sorry, what were you going to say? Oh, okay. So that's the only thing. BF7, really quick, because I'm going to take my dogs. Not they close the border. Yeah, Tanzania did not.
Tanzania.
So what? Tanzania is closing. When I say close their borders, that means you can't get in unless you test for Ebola. Okay, and that's not something we've seen for years. Okay, we haven't seen that for years because this is the Sudan strain. The J&J vaccine worked against. Go ahead.
I got a question.
Sure.
Raising my hand, teacher.
I'm sorry.
I'm raising my hand, teacher.
Just interrupt me.
So are flights still going in? Did you guys understand my question? I asked the teacher, are flights still just freely going in and out of different countries? And he said yes.
Yes. Yes, they are. Listen, you know what? Ebola, if health is the absence of disease, then, death is the most healthy you'll ever be.
I don't want to die, though. I don't want to die. I don't want to die.
I don't want to die either, but I don't want to pay my student loans either.
I know.
All right, I'm going to take my dogs on a walk. My love, thank you for letting me come in.
Thank you.
I'm going to make I'm going to make a cute little post right here. It's about this. Just so we can be a little petty. It's fucking amazing, man. I love it. All right. I love you guys. Bye.
All right. Thank you for coming up. The flights are still... The flights are still... All right, you guys, I don't have anything else to add to the conversation. Thank you to, if you're still in the chat, thank you to those who brought to my attention this piece of the Deutsche Bank story about this person found dead on the high school campus. I appreciate that. Y'all have a fantastic day. I'm going to get to work. It looks like I got 2 issues that I need to deal with. I hate issues on Friday. Friday is supposed to be smooth sailing, and I'm supposed to, oh, thank you for the gift. I'm supposed to, you know, just be working but chilling on a Friday, and I've already got 2 issues. You're welcome for the live. Thank you for joining. Hope you learned something. I learned something. That's what this is all about for me. I love y'all. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I don't do lives on the weekend, but I do videos. So I'll see you guys in video format. Okay. Oh, somebody subscribed. Thank you for the subscription. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, y'all. Be safe out there. Flights are still going in and out. Wear your mask. Make sure you got hand sanitizer so you can, everywhere you go. I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next one.